Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Evening. Remember what we were discussing in the last class? What we were discussing in the last class?
Proc print.
Options.
What we were discussing?
Proc.
What proc print will do?
I am Raman Manikan lecturer. I am from Bangladesh.
What the proc print will do?
Print all or some of variables of a data sets.
It prints all or some of the variables of the data set and what it can do maximum?
Rampalli. Listen.
What it can do maximum?
Totals and grand totals.
It can print the subtotals and grand totals for all the numerical variables of the data set. And I told you, proc print is one of the oldest procedure that we have whenever you want to have a basic print. If you want to have a print of a data set, what we do, we use a proc print option, proc print procedure. And in the proc print, what are the options that we have seen in the last class?
Yes, sir. I'm coming to
Data is equals to
Mhm. We have seen
OB,
data is equal to option,
no OBS,
no OBS.
no OBS option.
double,
50. Double
OBS is
is
equal to OBS is equal to the text. We have
double
seen a
option.
double option.
split,
Label option.
So we have seen label option. We have seen split option, and we have
Which
seen
is
label. We have seen split is
which
equal to
is
special
double.
character. Sorry, split is equal to special character.
B pharmacy in 2022 batch with 76.5 percentage.
Manikanta,
And I am attending some of seminars and
Manikanta. Split is equal to special character, and we have seen heading
Hor-
is equal to by default we have a horizontal. What we can do,
Vertical.
we can write the vertical, and then what we have
Uniform.
use a uniform option, or we can use
Width
width
is
is equal to
equals to
minimum and
minimum.
minimum. You can write a uniform, or you can also write
Full.
full,
Hmm.
and we can use n option, and we can use a round option. So these are the options that we have seen. And in today's class, yeah, we have seen blank line also, right? We have seen blank
Blank
line
line
is
is
equal
equals
to
to
the number.
n.
And right before that, I'm creating a data set, data, class data set. I'm creating this from the SAS help.class. Okay, I'm writing the run statement. Now, if I select the program and execute it, yes, I have a class data set in the work library. Now, what I'm doing is I'm writing proc print data is equal to class data set. I do not want to have a OBS column, no OBS. And tell me what you will get if I execute this program. You will get print of all the 5 variables of class data set, right? And where you will get this print? You will get this print both in output window and in the result view window. Why we are getting this output window and what is this result? We call it as I call this as a simple listing. Whatever the report that you are getting in the output window, we call it as a listing. Whatever the result that you are getting in the result viewer, and this is called as a HTML window,
HTML.
HTML table. Okay. Now that is okay. But if I execute this program, how many variables will get in the print?
5 variables.
5. 5 variables.
Fine. It's because we have 5 variables in the class data set. But I want to print only few variables. Now, if you want to print only few variables, now we will write a statement called var statement. In the var statement, now whatever the variable that you specify, now you will get a print for only for that variables. So if you want to print only name, sex, and age, now we should write a var statement, name, sex, and age, select the program and execute it. Now we'll get only name, sex, and age variables. Okay. But if you want to print a name, height, and weight, what we should do? You should write a proc print. Data is equal to the data set name. If you do not want to have OBS column, no OBS, var statement. Yes, I want to print a name variable. I want to print height variable, and I want to print weight variable. So keep a semicolon. Now write the run statement. Now select the program and execute it. Now you will get a print for name, height, and weight. Understand this one? What we should if you want to print all the variables? Now write a proc print. Data is equal to class, no OBS column, where name, sex, age, height, and weight, semicolon run. Now you will get print for all the variables. Even if you are not writing the var statement also, you will get a print for all the variables. So since I specify var statement, if I specify 5 variables, now we'll get the print for all the 5 variables. Now, I want to print all the numerical variables of this data set. Now, if you want to print all the numerical variables of the data set, now what we should write? Specify var statement underscore numeric underscore. If I specify underscore numeric underscore, now we'll get a print for all the numerical variables of the data set. Okay. Now I want to print all the character variables. Then what we should do? You should write underscore. What I should write? Underscore char underscore. Now we execute the program. We have 2 character variables, name and sex. Now we'll get the print for the name and sex variables. Now I want to print all the variables of the data set. If you want to print all the variables, what we should write? Now we should write underscore all underscore. Now select the program and execute the program. Now we'll get all the variables of the data set. Now I'm creating a data set called DS1. In that I'm creating a variable called X1. X1 is equal to 3. X2 is equal to 5. X3 is equal to 7. And I have Y1 is equal to 2. Y2 is equal to 4. Y3 is equal to 6. Now I'm writing X4 is equal to 9. I'm writing Y4 is equal to 8. I'm creating a variable called XA. XA is equal to 1, and I'm writing YA is equal to 2. This is the data set I created. Tell me how many variables we have in this data set? We have 10 variables. We have. Now I want to print the data. I am writing proc print. Data is equal to DS1 semicolon run. I do not want to have OBS column. I'm writing no OBS. By the way, in the DS1 data set, how many variables we have and how many observations? Data is equal to DS1, no OBS. I'm writing a var statement. I'm writing, in the var statement, I'm writing X1 hyphen X4. what variables you will get in the print? You will get x1, x2, x3, and you will get x4.
X2, X3, X4.
So when you write x1 hyphen x4, all the variables that are present between x1 x4, which contains x series, it will print only those variables. Can you see? Now I'm writing the same program, but what I'm doing is I'm specifying a double hyphen symbol. If you specify the double hyphen symbol between the x1 to x4, what are the other variables that we have? It will print even those variables also. That means now tell me which variables you will get in the print now?
X2, X3, Y1, Y2, Y3.
You will get x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3, and you will get x4 also. Now see, if I select the program, and this is how we have. Now, but I'm writing the same program in a different manner. Now, this time I'm writing, var statement. In the var statement, I'm specifying x colon. You know what will happen now? All the variables which are starting with the x character will get printed. Now that means which variables you will get now?
X1, X2, X3, X4,
X1, X2, X3,
XA.
X4, XA.
See, very good. Now that is how we are going to get. Now see, select the program and execute it. Now you are going to get x1, x2, x3, x4, and xa. But if I write my program like this one, the starting variable is x1 and the ending variable is ya. You know what? If I execute this program, you will get all the variables which are present between these two. Understand this one? Now tell me, if you want to print all the variables of SAS help.class, now what you will do? Now we are going to specify proc printer. Data is equal to SAS help.class. Then you can write a var statement. The first variable is the name variable, double hyphen, and the last variable is weight variable. Now write the run statement. Now you will get to print all the variables of the data set. First variable double hyphen and the last variable. Clear, everybody? And this is called var statement. Now, how we can define the var statement? It specifies the variable names, what we want to have in the report or in the print. Understand this one? Manikanta. Everybody clear with this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the next statement that we have is by statement. It prints the report into number of tables based on by variable value. It prints the report into number of tables based on the by variable values. Now tell me, I'm writing proc print. Data is equal to class. I'm writing a var statement. I want to print name, sex, age. I want to print height and weight. Tell me how this is going to get print. How we are going to get the print now? We will get the print all the 19 observations as one table, one report. I do not want to have OBS column. I'm writing the no OBS. If I execute the program in the output window and in the result viewer window, we'll get all the 19 observations, 5 variables as one table. But now what I want to do is, I want to print females as one table, males as another table. So that means I want to get my report by gender. So that means I want to have the report by gender. If you want to have the report based on the gender, now what we should do? We should write by sex. Because I want to have print by sex. But now tell me, Hamachandra, if I wanted the by sex, what is the prerequisite?
Sort the data.
We need to sort the data. That's the prerequisite, right? Now, how to sort the data, Mr. Hamachandra? Do you know how to sort the data? Manoj, how to sort the data?
Sir, using proc sort.
How to write the proc sort?
Proc sort. Data
Proc
is equal to
sort.
class.
Data is equal to class.
Okay, if you want, we can mention out, sir.
Okay,
By
very
6.
good. By 6.
Semicolon and run semicolon.
Colon. Run. Very good. Now I'm sorting the data. First of all, I'm sorting the data and then I'm writing the proc print procedure now. Now, if I go to the program, now can you say I'm getting the report in two separate tables? I'm getting females as one table and males as one table. Now, this time I want to print the data again, but I want to print the data by age. Tell me what should I do?
Proc sort.
Again, if you want to print the data by age, we should write, proc sort data is equal to class data set by age semicolon run. Okay. Manoj CH, tell me how many tables I will get if I execute this program? I should not ask you. Chandrasekhar.
Table.
Chandrasekhar. Tell me how many tables I will get. How many tables I will get? Why 5 tables?
5 tables.
Why? How many age groups that we have in SASL class? In SASL class, we have 6 different types of age groups. Now I'll get 6 tables. Now see, we have 11 years as one table, 12 years as in a separate table, 13 years as in one table, 14, 15, and 16. Now, can somebody tell me, if I write like this one, now I'm sorting my data by name. I'm sorting the data by name, and in the print, I'm writing by name. How many tables I will get?
19, sir.
19.
Tables. We have 19 separate different unique names. So each one is going to come as in a one table. Now we'll get a 19 names, 19 tables. Okay. Now this time I am writing by 6. Tell me, if I write the by 6, how many tables I will get?
2.
2 tables.
But in the proc print, I'm writing by 6 space is. So since I'm writing a 2 variables in the by statement, now in the sorting also, I should write the 2 variables, right? Now tell me how I'll get the what, how many tables I will get in output now, in the proc print now.
2 tables.
2
Two
tables.
tables.
What are the 2 tables I will get now? Now remember one thing. Now it is going to print 1 table for each combination. Now in the by statement, first we have a sex variable. How many types of sexes we have?
Male,
Female. Now in the female, how many types of age groups that we have?
6.
6. In the females, we have 5. Female 11. We are going to add a female 12 table. Female 13. Female 14. And we will get female 15. And the males again, we are going to get male 11. And we'll get male 12, male 13. And we'll get male 14, male 15, and male 16. So we have total 11 combinations. Now we'll get 11 tables. Understand this one? So in the sorting also, I'm writing sex and age. In the proc print also, I'm writing sex and age. Now if I execute the program, now can you see, this is how we'll get. We have female 11 years as one table, female 12, female 13, female 14, female 15. And then we have male 11, 12, 13, 15, male 16. So total, how many tables I got now? I got 11 tables. So since I specified 2 variables in the by statement, and I will get one table for each combination. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Then once you're done with the by statement, the next statement that we have is a page by statement. What the page by statement can do, it prints the tables. Prints the tables into separate pages. It prints the tables into separate pages. Now see, I am writing proc print. Data is equal to class data set. I want to print all the variables, so I'm writing where name sex is. I'm writing height table and I'm writing the weight table. Now I am writing the by sex. Tell me how many tables I will get, by the way?
2.
Two tables. So because by sex, so we are going to have females one table, males one table. But you know that if you wanted the by sex, what is the prerequisite? We need to sort the data by
The
sex.
data.
Now, of course, already we have sorted data by sex. Now, anyway, I'm writing sex. Now, but if I execute the program, of course, I will get the two tables. But the question is, I'm getting both the tables in one page. But I want to have females in a separate page and the males into a different page. If you want to have two different pages, you know what we should do? Now we should write a statement called page by. In the page by, remember one thing. If you want to write any variable, that variable must be present in the by statement. So in the page by also, which variable I should write now?
Sex
I should write only sex variable. You cannot write a different variable. Whatever the variable that you are writing in the page by, that variable must be present in the by statement. Now see, now I'm writing a page by sex. Now if I execute the program, can you see? We have females table in one page and we have males table in a different page. Now can you see there is a page separation between both the tables aligned here? And if you go to output window also, now can you see males page present in which page number? 24. Now we can see the female table and the female table is present. Now can you see which page number it is in?
23.
23.
So we have in two different pages. So what page by can do? Page by prints the tables in separate pages. Understand this one? And the next statement that we have is sum by statement. And what this sum by statement can do, you know, sum by statement print totals for all the numerical, sorry, for all the numerical variables based on the by variable value. It prints totals for all the numerical variables of a data set based on by variable. Now I am writing proc print. Proc print data is equal to class data set. I want to print all the variables. Name, sex, age. I'm writing height and I'm writing weight. Then I'm writing by sex. You know that if I write by sex, you know what will happen? Now we'll get two tables, females into one table and males as a one table. Okay. Now I am writing one more statement called, you know, sum by. In the sum by also, you know what we should write? We should write the same variable that we have in the by statement. So that means in the sum by also, we should write only the by variable. That means if you want to write any variable in the sum by statement, that variable must be present in the by statement. But you know that if you wanted any variable in the by statement, the prerequisite is proc sorting. Now I'm writing the proc sort. Data is equal to class data set. Now by sex semicolon run. You know what the sum by statement will do? Tell me, in the class data set, how many numerical and what are the numerical variables that we have?
Age, height, weight.
Is height and weight. Now you will get the totals and grand total for all the three numerical variables. But how you will get the grand total? You will get females and males. You know why? Because in the by statement, which variable that we have? By sex. In the sum by also have a sex. Now it is going to give the subtotals and grand totals for all the numerical variables by sex. అంటే నాకు ఫిమేల్స్ కి ఏజ్ కి హైట్ కి వెయిట్ కి టోటల్ వస్తుంది, మేల్స్ కి ఏజ్ కి హైట్ వెయిట్ కి టోటల్ వస్తుంది. దెన్ ఐ విల్ గెట్ ద గ్రాండ్ టోటల్. Did I ask for total for any variable? No. Simply I specified by sum by sex. Now by gender, for all the numerical variables, you will get the total. And this is sum by statement would do. But if you wanted a by statement, sorry, page by or sum by, if you want to specify any variable in the page by or sum by, that variable must be present in by statement.
Right.
Now tell me, if I write sum by age, tell me what will happen if I write the sum by age? So you should write by age and you should sum by age. But if you want to write the page by or sum by, what we should write? We should sort the data. I am sorting data set by age variable, semicolon run. Now tell me, how we are going to get the totals now? You will get the totals. For which variables you will get the total?
Numerical age variable.
Only age variables.
Only age variable. I will get the totals for all the numerical variables.
All
the numerical variables.
For age, height, and weight. Okay, and you will get these totals based on the age. Now we are going to get the total for for age, height, and weight for all the 11-year students, then 12-year students, then 13 years, then 14 years, 15 years, and then 16 years. Understand this one? Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
And the next statement that we have is ID statement. What is this one? ID statement. Variables, values will come in OBS position. Now I am writing proc print. Data is equal to class data set. Var statement. I want to print name, sex, age. I want to print height and weight. And I'm writing the run statement. If I execute the program, you will get 5 variables print and you'll get an OBS column. But in the OBS position, I do not want to have this observation number. I want to have sex variable here. I want to have sex values here. In the OBS position, if you want to have any variable values, if you want to have any variable in the OBS position, now we are going to get a statement called ID. In the ID statement, you should write the variable name. Now, whatever the variable that you specify in the ID statement, these variable values will come in OBS position. Now, can you find the difference between sex and the remaining variables now? And this sex is coming in OBS position. Now, by writing ID statement and by statement, again, I'm writing by sex. But what is the condition if you want to write the by sex? I'm writing proc start data is equal to class. Now I'm writing by sex semicolon run. Now, if I execute the program, by writing ID statement and sex by statement together, now we can print when the same value is repeating for multiple times. So now that value will print only one time. Understand this one? This is how we are going to use ID statement and by statement. So you get a better print, a better report. Clear, everybody? And this is called ID statement. And after ID statement, the next statement that we have is sum statement. What the sum statement can do? It prints totals for analysis variables. So for example, I want to have a total for weight variable. I want to have a total for weight variable. Then what we should do? Proc print data is equal to data set name. I do not want to have OBS, no OBS. I want to print all the variables where name sex is. I want to print height and I want to print weight also. Then I am writing a new statement called sum statement. In the sum statement, for which variable I want to have a total? For weight variable. Now we should sum weight. Now you will get the total for weight variable. You know what we are going to get? We are getting the total for all the 19 students, and this is how we'll get the total. Now, can you say what the total for weight variable for all the 19 students? 1900.5. Understand this one? Now I want to have a total for height variable. Then what we should write now? Now you should write a sum height variable. Now we go to the program. I will get the total for height variable. Now I want to get the total for height and weight. If you want to have a total for height and weight, what we should do in the sum statement? Now we should write height and you should write the weight variable. Now you will get the grand total for both height and weight. But now we are getting the grand total for all the 19 students. But I want to have this height and weight total for females separately and for males separately. And then I want to have a grand total. Now tell me, that means I want to have a totals by how?
Females and males separate.
What I should write? We should write
By
sex. But if you wanted the bisex, what is the prerequisite? We need to have the
we
sort.
have to sort.
Sort data class semicolon bisex semicolon. Now right. Now select the program and execute it. Now we are going to have, can you see? We have height and weight total separately for females. And then we have height and weight total for separately for males. And then we will have a grand total. This is what we can do maximum. We cannot do any analysis other than this one with the proc print. That's why we use proc print only when we require a basic print of a data set. We can't do much analysis. Now, can you tell me what is the difference between sum statement and sum by statement? Anybody? Based on your observations, what is the difference between sum by and sum statement?
Sum by into by
Sum by
statement.
statement given total variables, total numerical variables to sum.
Sum by statement, yes, so sum, very good. Sum by statement is going to give the totals for all the numerical variables by variable.
Statement.
But what sum statement do? Sum statement will print only totals for specific variable, that is what we have specified. And by the way, in the sum statement, you should write only numerical analysis variables. But in the sum by, we write by variable. It can be a numerical variable, or it can be you can write a sex variable, or you can write also age variable also. But in the var statement, but in the sum statement, what variables you can write? Only numerical variables, because we can get totals for only numerical variables. I hope everybody understood the difference between sum by and sum statement. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
The next one. I am writing proc print. Data is equal to class data set. I do not want to have OBS column. Then I'm writing a var statement. Name, sex, age, height, and weight. Now tell me, while I'm printing this one, I want to print only female students. What should I do? I want to print only female students.
Where sex is equal to female.
Very good. Now where sex is equal to capital F. That means what you can understand from this one? What you can understand from this one? We can write a where statement in proc print. We can filter the data. We can filter the observations by using where statement. I want to print all the students whose age is 13 or above 13. Simply what you will do? Where is
Where
greater
age
equal to
greater than
13.
13.
We'll get all the students with age greater than or equal to 13. Now I do not want to print 12 years. What should I write? where age,
Where age not equal to
to 30.
I want to have not equal to 12. You will not get not 12, you will get the remaining. And by the way, while I'm printing this data, okay, what I want to do, I want to print 2 decimal values for age variable. Tell me what you will do. I want to print like this one.
double.
Form.
Format,
Or
age variable, what the
Age.
format I should.
Age.
Anybody, what
4
format
dot
I should use?
4.2.
5.2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see how the age values are printing now? Now tell me, for height and weight, I do not want to have any decimals. I do not want to have any decimals for height and weight.
Maximum decimal is equal to 0.
Max deck. Who is that? I do not want to have any decimals. So no, I'm writing 5 dot, or you can minimum 3 dot. Understand this one? So we can write a var statement, where statement, we can write a format statement. But while I'm printing, I want to apply the labels. What I should do if you want to apply the label?
label statement.
Label. For which variables you want to apply the label? Say for example, I want to apply the label for sex variable. Sex is equal to, I want to have it as a, say for example, student gender. Will I get the label?
No, sir. We have to write option also label.
Label option.
We have to give the label option. Then only you will get the label. Understand? So, in the proc print, we can write a var statement, we can write the by statement, we can write a page by statement, we can write a sum by statement, we can write ID statement, and then we can write a sum statement, and then we can write a where statement, we can write a format statement, and we can write a label statement. Clear, everybody? So these are the statements that we can write. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Once you're done with all the statements, now we'll go with the next one. Now, I'm writing proc print data is equal to class semicolon run. And of course, I want to print all the variables. Now I'm writing a var statement. I want to print a name, sex, age, height, and weight. Now, in the output window, under result viewer window, you'll get this is the table you'll get. This is the table in HTML window, okay? And in the HTML window, whatever the data part that we have, this is called column or a data part. దీన్ని ఏమంటామంటే టేబుల్ డేటా పార్ట్ అంటామండి. And here can you see here we have variable names, and this is called header part. Header. And here can you see this is in OBS, this is called OBS header. And this, can you see observation number, OBS observation number, and this is called OBS column. చూడండి ఈ డేటా ఉన్న పార్ట్ ఏమంటామండి? What you call this data part? Data part or column. Data or column. This is called header. This is called header, and this is called base. Now, if I write sum, height, weight, if I execute the program, we'll get the height and weight total. This is called grand total. Okay. Now, if I specify by sex, now This is called, total. And this is called by label. By, somewhere or by where you can call it as like that one. So these are the parts of a output table. Clear, everybody? Now, time being, I am applying only where statement. Now, what I want to do, I want to apply some styles to the data part of the table. ఈ HTML లో ఏదైతే టేబుల్ ఉందో to the table part, I want to apply few styles. Now, if you want to apply the styles for this, now in the proc print statement, after writing data set name, now what I'm going to do, I am going to write a style statement. Remember, style. Now, after the style, now we should keep the parenthesis. In the parenthesis, you should write for which part of the table, which table part you want to apply the style. I want to apply the style for data part. Now, style of data is equal to. And you should always write the styles either in the square brackets or you should write in the flower brackets. Some people call it as in a curly brackets and some people call it as in a flower brackets. Now, within that flower brackets, now we should apply the style. Now, what styles you can apply? Now, first of all, I am writing a style called background is equal to. Background is equal to, I want to have yellow color. Now I'm writing a background is equal to yellow. Now select the program and execute the program. Now in the output window, in the results viewer window, in HTML window, the background of the data part will be get changed into yellow color. Now what colors we can write here? We have a SAS color catalog. You can go to the catalog. In the catalog, whatever the colors that we have, now we can write any color here. Now I can write, say, for example, light blue. If I write the light blue, I will get the background, the light blue color. In the SAS catalog, colors catalog, we are going to have a color names and color codes. You can write either color name or the color code. It's up to you. Now I want to have a yellow color, so I'm writing background is equal to yellow. Now you will get the yellow color like this one. By the way, these styles will be get applied only in HTML result viewer window, but not in the output window. Okay, this one. Now, what are the other styles that you can apply? Now, after writing background is equal to yellow with the same flower brackets, now I'm writing foreground is equal to, I want to have, say for example, green color. I'm writing foreground is equal to green. Select the program and execute it. Now can you see? Now we can see the foreground color green. If you want, you can also apply the foreground red. Now if I add the red, now we'll get the red color. So far we have applied background and foreground. Now I want to apply different font. Now I'm writing font underscore face is equal to. You can write whatever the MS Office style that you want to have. You can any font style. I want to have a Comic Sans MS. I'm writing Comic Sans MS. If you want, you can add the Times New Roman. You can add Arial, Verdana, Caliber, whatever the format you want to have, you can write. I want to have Comic Sans MS. I'm writing Comic Sans MS. Select the program and execute it. Now, can you see we have Comic Sans MS? Now the letter size is very small. I want to have a little bit bigger ones. If you want to change the letter size, now we should write font underscore size is equal to 4. If I specify font underscore size is equal to 4, now we are going to get a size 4. Now I want to give, what you call the bold. If you want to have a bold letters in the same flower brackets, font underscore weight is equal to bold. If I have the font underscore weight is equal to bold, I'm going to have a bold. Tell me what styles I applied. for the data what? Background is equal to foreground is equal to font underscore face is equal to font underscore size is equal to font underscore weight is equal. Now within the same semicolon, within the same statement, this time I am writing style of header. So the parenthesis is equal to, again, within the flower brackets, now I'm going to specify background is equal to, maybe I want to have a red color. Foreground is equal to, I want to have a white color. Now I'm selecting this program and executing it. Now the header part, the background will be, I will give the green color. What is that? You can write whatever the color you want to have. Now you can specify the background is equal to green. In the same way, I want to have bigger size letters. Now within that, I am writing font underscore face is equal to, I want to have Algerian. I am writing an Algerian. Now font underscore size is equal to, I want to have a 6. And then font underscore weight is equal to, I want to have a bold characters. Now select the program and execute the program. Now can you see? I have background green, foreground white. I have an Algerian styles. I have an A6 size, and I have bold. Clear, everybody? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
In the next class, we'll see how to apply the styles for the remaining things, and then we'll see how to write the titles and footnotes, and then I will tell you how to do the tasks of all the 18 tasks of proc print. Okay, clear, everyone? Okay, then. See you.
సార్ బోర్డు ఉన్న వాటిని నార్మల్ చేయడానికి ఏం రాయాలి సార్?
No,
In case
if you remove that one, font underscore face is font underscore weight is equal to bold తీసేసారనుకోండి, you won't get that.
okay sir, thank you.
You won't get
Sir.
that. Yes.
వైర్ స్టేట్మెంట్ లో మనం అన్ని వేరియబుల్స్ రాస్తున్నాం కదా సార్, ఒకవేళ చాలా వేరియబుల్స్ ఉంటాయి.
You have to mention, because in the data set, whatever the value that you have, you may not want to have the print for all the variables, right? So whichever variables you want, you have to print.
అంటే
Otherwise, you
డ్రాప్
cannot-
ఆప్షన్ లాగా
No, drop option you cannot write for the you can write a drop option where we can write a drop
In
option in only you can write proc step also. Here else you can write it data set. Here you can write the drop, because the options works both in data step and proc step. But why should I use a drop here? I can go with the var statement only. Anyway, both are going to will do the same thing, right? In this scenario.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys. See you in tomorrow next class.